recording now. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sharon. I'm from Re.viz.to. I'm the technical consultant which support this project. Okay, so today agenda is more like training of Re.viz.to and also let you to understand what are the capability of Re.viz.to that you can actually use up most of it. Okay, so the first thing first is that I would like to introduce the Re.viz.to with I think most of you already received the invitation sent by Tuya, and then you will receive an email from Re.viz.to. Make sure that you click on that particular link. Something look like this. You'll receive something like this and create an account with Re.viz.to. So at this present moment, what you need to do is that put in the first name, last name, and the password for your login credential. After you do it, just make sure that you can come into the page. Something look like this. Okay, so what you need to do from here is that the moment that you receive an invitations, right, and after you create your account, you will need to install. So where you can find the installer is that at the top right corners over here, download Re.viz.to. Click on it and download the versions, the installer, you can find it over here. One thing that you may need to take note is that if you are using Revit or some authoring tools for you to publish the models, right, make sure that you close all the Revit file. Okay, close all the Revit file, all the authoring tools. The reason is because the moment that you install Re.viz.to, you will scan through all the authoring tools that are available in your system and start to download the plugin. So the purpose of having that plugin is that for you to publish the models directly from your authoring tools into Re.viz.to. So for examples, if today I'm using Revit, right? After I install Re.viz.to, you will see a plugin sitting in your Revit. So this is the plugin that for you to directly publish the models from Revit into Re.viz.to. Yeah, so this is a heads up part. Make sure when you do the installation, if you need to publish the model, this is the extra step that you need to take note. Okay, right. Come back to here. So I understand that most of you are very new to Re.viz.to. Allow me to introduce what is Re.viz.to. In short, is that Re.viz.to, we call ourselves integrated collaboration platform. What does it mean is that if today I'm using Revit, but my subcontractors are using Tekla, or maybe my Archi consultant are using ArchiCAD, right? I don't have to export my file. What I need to do is that I can directly publish the models by using the plugin just now I show you, directly push the models into Re.viz.to in a single platform. So you don't have to convert into IFC. Yeah, so this is a plus point, so you don't have to convert the files in a way. Okay, so after you publish the models, okay, into Re.viz.to, something like this, okay, publish over here, what are the things that you can actually publish into Re.viz.to other than the model? Okay, for example, today I'm Revit users, right? I wanted to publish this model. I hit the publish button. I can choose the 3D view that I wanted to publish and 2D sheets that I want to publish. So in a way is that I'm publishing 3D models and the 2D sheets into Re.viz.to. So you don't have to upload the models and the 2D sheets separately. Okay, so this is a plus point over here because we are managing under the same files, source file, 3D and the 2D sheets published directly into the project. Okay, so at this present moments, right, the IR2 project are still setting up. So allow me to use my demo project to walk you through the functions today. Okay, so first thing first, after you install with Re.viz.to, this is the desktop app. You open it, you log in with your credentials. Okay, log in with your credential. You'll be look like something like this. So for your case, right, you just have to click on this IR2 project, for example, click and open it. That's it. Okay, click and open it. Then you can actually go into your project. Today, let me just come back to my sample project using this. So after we come into this particular platform, right, what else that I can actually play around it? So if today I just want to take a look like how many models have been published into this project, right? I can do is that open up this called model, okay, load and unload models to see like what are the models that have been published into Re.viz.to. Okay, so by right, we will set some preset for you. By clicking this drop down over here, you should be able to easy to identify like which are the consultant models, for example, which are the construction models. Okay, by clicking this drop down preset over here, I can just switch to what are the models that I want to see. So without me to go and click which are the models that I need to view, because we have a preset for you already. So you just have to select what you want to see. Okay, let's say construction models, for example, and click apply, it will start to load the model accordingly. Okay, so this is where that you can actually find your models. On top of it, for you to see what are the models that available, there's an object tree over here. Okay, there's a bracket like Control B, right? This is the shortcut. Okay, you can see that the functions beside. Okay, the inside the bracket, this is the shortcut keys. Okay, so for me to use, I just Control B, hide, Control B, extend. Okay, what I can actually look at this. Object tree inside, those that loaded, right? The models loaded on the screen, right? Which is the one that visible. Okay, which is the one that visible. Those that in gray, meaning that it has been unloaded, meaning that you cannot see on here now because I already select what are the models that I can see. Okay, on top of it, let's say I wanted to check this particular model. I do a double click, open up the properties. In short, is that this properties is actually this icon. This one. This is the properties. So this property is for you to check the models information or the object information, object properties. Okay, so if now I double click on that models, right? Let's say I double click on these models here. I'm looking at the model's properties. So what I can get from here, at least I know who are the person that published this model and what authoring tools that they are using. So this is one thing that you can check. So that's why I did mention, right? Without having you to export into the same common file, you just have to publish from the authoring tools, and from here you can actually identify which authoring tools that they are using. So for this one, basically structure is from Re.viz 2025. Okay, so this is for you to check the properties. Okay, on top of it, let's start with some simple functions. Let's say that I wanted to isolate this structure model. I do a right click and I have this isolate functions here. Just hit the isolate function, then you can see that this model has been isolated. Okay, very straightforward, very easy lah. Okay, so for me to bring back my home view, right, always remember this home button over here, bottom. Click on it, you are back to the home. So same thing, if today I'm too excited using Re.viz.to, first time using, I scroll until I cannot find my models already. Don't worry, hit on the home button, it will bring you back. Something like this. Okay. Right. Next is that I would like to start with some simple functions at the top. Okay. Okay. First thing first is that if you are following, right, you'll realize that the functions, right, something like mine is more complicated, yours are more simplified. The reason is because by default, first time that you install Re.viz.to, okay, you click the more buttons over here, your view should be like simplified view, something like this. Okay, so if you want to get more functions, right, you can just click the more button over here, switch it to the advanced view, then you can get more functions over here. This is the first time setup lah, if you wanted to see more functions on this panel here. Okay, so let's start with the far left function, viewpoint. This is where that you can actually save some viewpoint and you wanted to create your own viewpoint, for example. Okay, so like for example, today I'm actually navigating these models. Okay, and I wanted to save this as one of my viewpoint. So I can actually click on this, create new point, okay, and new point will be created over here. But another shortcut over here for you to create the viewpoint is at the bottom here. Actually, the same function. Okay, so just that one is in the viewpoint panel, the other one is without having to open up this viewpoint panel, you're still able to create a viewpoint. Yeah, this is the shortcuts, the bottom here. Okay, so this is something that you can actually play around with the viewpoint. Other than that, okay, the next one I would like to share with you, which is this room function here. So in the event, if you realize that the room button is in gray, the reason is because the models don't have room parameters. But the moment that you realize that this room buttons, right, available for you to click, meaning that you can actually find the room's parameters. So why this function will be quite useful. For example, I'm actually looking for some of the rooms. Let's say I want to go into this room 303, right? I can just click on it. You actually bring me into the rooms already without me to go and find where is it. But of course, this information is not come out from magic lah. It's come from the group for the BIM models. As long as the BIM models have the room parameters, it will automatically read it and display over here. Okay, this is the room parameters. Okay, next. Okay, these functions 2D and 3D split. Okay, 2D and 3D split. My favorite function. I always tell everyone. Okay, why? Because now I actually move my screen, right? Come to here. My camera view is over here. And when I click on the select sheets, right, you'll realize that it only show me the side plan because the system is smart enough to capture your current camera view. So now I'm actually outside the building, so I am only available for me to see the side plan. But the moment that I move in, let's say I move into this block, okay, I place myself in the walk mode. I select the sheets again. You'll see that it gives me more options. It shows me the floor plan on this fourth floor. So what I need to do is that I just have to select the floor plan that I want to see. And this purple color dot is my current camera view. Because now, if you take a look, I turn around the models. It will follow as well. Okay, it will follow as well. So for me to walk through the models, if you are a gamer, WASD, just walk through it. Okay, then it will follow. On top of it, if let's say that for myself, I'm not a gamer, I'm not very good on navigating, right? I can just hover my cursor over and move myself in like this. Okay, so I don't have to really walk through, but I can just quickly to shift myself into any areas that I wanted to go. Okay, so this is the 2D and 3D split lah. Okay, easier for you to see. All right. Okay, so let me move on. Okay, so the next functions that I would like to quickly to share is that if let's say I wanted to isolate two objects and create a section box, right? You can also do it as well. I just have to select one object, press and hold Control, select another object, do a right click, fix section box around selection. Then you can see that it creates a section box between these two objects. Continue on. If I click on these sections box, I can shift it, move it to cut the plane, the section box that I wanted to cut. Something look like this. Okay, continue on. Now I wanted to continue my measurement in this section box, right? You can use this ruler function. We have different tools here. Firstly is the laser ranger. As its name, measure by using a laser. I just double click on the floor, it will shoot up perpendicularly automatically. Same horizontal, I double click, it will shoot perpendicularly. So this is the laser ranger function. On top of it, I have point to point. As its name, point to point. But of course, this measurement doesn't make sense. You can switch it by using this. Just click on it. Now you are in the perpendicular. I switch again, parallel. Okay, so this is how that you can actually play with it. But of course, if you wanted to snap it correctly, right, the tips over here is that, let me just go in a little bit more. You can see that now I hover my cursor, stop at the screen, right? It's a square box, meaning it detects the surface. If I'm shift it to the edges, right, one line meaning that the edges. Okay, if I shift it this to the sections, you'll see it's a cross. You know that this is the corner. Okay, so these are the tips that you can actually play with it. Like surface, edges, intersections. Okay, so yeah, this is for you to measure, pick the point. Other than that, next one, minimum distance. Okay, so this minimum distance is for you to measure the offset of one object to the other offset of the object. So for example, I select this piping, I select the other piping, it picks the minimum distance. It's the offset. Okay, so you don't have to really go and pin one by one lah. Okay, so this is the minimum function. So the other one is elevation, or Singapore we call it datum. Okay, so as long as your models has put in these datum parameters, right? So when I move the object and place it, okay, over here, for example, then you can read the datums already. Okay, so this information is from the models lah. Okay, move on. The last one is measure the slope. So if you have RAM, right, basically you can actually measure the gradient. Of course, this is the flat slab. I can't really measure it. But one thing that quite interesting, which is like, for example, the pipe slope over here. I can actually switch this to a pipe slope. Just double click on it. Then you will actually measure the gradient of this piping. Then these measurements, right, you can actually switch it according to what you want to see. For example, I don't want to see 1:2 ratio. I want to see in degree, switch it to degree. If I want to see by percentage, go by percentage. Okay, so you can actually switch according to how you wanted to read these measurements. Okay, so this is the measurements, the ruler function. Okay, so the next thing that I'd like to share is that other than just measure it, If let's say I wanted to highlight it as an issue, I want to record it, so I want to assign for someone to fix it. So we can actually use a function called issue or stamp to capture this. So give you one example here is that if I use the minimum distance, I check these two pipe, I realize that 370. Okay, let's say by regulations is that minimum 400, for example. So I can actually capture this as an issue, use these new issue functions over here, and I assign a stamp. So these stamps, right, we are still working on for IR2 project to standardize. So we know that when we come to a different situation, which stamps that we wanted to pick. The reason of doing this is that first standardizing the issue type. The other purpose of using this is that because later on I will show you the dashboard, it's much easier for you to pull out the correct information, okay, for the dashboard. Right. So for this one, right, let's say I'm using this called pipe, mechanical pipe buildability. I just drop a stamp over here. On the left-hand side, these are some of the markup tools that you can actually play around. I put in, let's say, minimum 400 millimeters. Okay, so you can actually adjust, okay, add any markups that you want, change the color, the callout is over here. Once it's done, just click on this called create issue. And this issue has been created already. Okay, so now we are actually in the issue tracker. Okay, this is where you can find all the issues. Okay, so let me explain from the far right. This column over here, these are all the issue details for this, okay, for this particular issue. So because I'm using a stamp, the stamp is also an issue template. So this information, the title, the type, the status, the assignee, priority, deadline, right? You realize that I just dropped the stamp. I didn't fill this information because I use this stamp, the system know that the information will follow this because I already set up the template for this. Okay. Furthermore, I scroll down. The information here, location. You see that I just dropped the stamp. I didn't put in the location details because the moment that I drop the stamp, the system is smart enough to capture the metadata from the BIM model. As long as your BIM models inside have grid line, rooms, levels, area, zone, you will automatically pick up already the moment that you drop the stamp. So something like, it's very important, this information, because it will actually affect the results of how fast that you can actually pull out the metadata for the dashboarding, for example. So as long as we standardize here, it will automatically do the rest of the job for the dashboarding. Okay. Right, next, okay, the chart over here, yeah, this is for you to do some commenting. Okay, comment over here, send it out. The person who comment timestamp will be captured. Same if you wanted to put in some PDF, for example, or some screenshot, okay, some photos, you can actually upload into the chart over here as well. Okay, this is the chart. The third column over here, this is the issue, okay, the individual issue. And the last one over here, this one is the filter. It depends on what you want to see. Okay, so for example, I just want to quickly to filter all the issue by company, for example. So I can actually come to the custom filter over here, assignee by company. Now the total for this total non-closed issue for this project, let's say 930, excuse me, 930. So if I want to just filter by Re.viz.to, okay, the issue that handled by Re.viz.to, for example, you can see that it can quickly to filter, okay, 180. So this is something that is a quick filters for you to check any outstanding issues, okay, under your responsibility or by company. There are a few more settings over here. You can see that quite detailed, depends on what you want to filters. Okay, I will come back here to share with you a little bit more. Okay, or maybe let me just move on to here. Okay, so let's say that I'm checking on these particular issues. Okay, check on this issue. And yes, on the left-hand side here, I have a screenshot. You can take a lot of screenshot because we are in the markup view. But if let's say I still want to jump into the 3D, right? Just switch it to the 3D view and you are inside the 3D view already. Furthermore, I click on this 2D, you actually bring you to the 2D drawings to show you where is the exact location on the 2D drawing. Okay, so this is for you to switch it. Okay, the view. Okay, let me come back to here. Okay, so since that I'm talking about the 2Ds, right? Let me share with you in the 2D space. Okay, if I can quickly to zoom in. Okay, so from here, you can see that just now we are in the 3D. Sorry, because the Teams blocking. Okay, and then we also jump into the issue tracker. So now we are into the 2D space. This is where that you can find your 2D sheets. Okay, or the shortcuts, I just press 2 on the keyboard. You will switch it to the 2D sheets here. Okay, let me come back to the gallery to share with you. These are the folders for you to store the sheets. But if you take a closer look, right, these folders are actually the model's name. Okay, the model's name. So if you remember just now, I did mention, when we publish the models, they publish together with the 2D sheets. So how the system actually group or categorize the 2D sheet is that once it publish in, it will group according to the model's name. So for example, I come to this particular folder, and then I click on, let's say, third floor plan. I open it, and this is where you can actually get the 2D sheets. Okay, what I can actually get from here, first thing first is that the green color box below. I click on it, you actually overlay the 2D sheets with the 3D models, something like this. And if I wanted to further to adjust, move up and down, right, cross level check, for example, this green color arrow is for you to shift up and down. Okay, shift up and down, depends on how you want to check. Of course, you can also detach, okay, the drawings, and if you move, the drawing will stay. Okay, if you want to follow, just click attach, it will follow again. Okay, so this is for you to cut the sections according to the plane. Okay, on top of it, let me go back to the 2D again. Okay, other than that, right, if let's say that I more prefer on the 2D, like for example, I'm looking at this room, 309. In the model, I can't really find where is the exact location. So in here, I can quickly to jump into this room by using this function called jump to 3D. Click on it, click on the space that you want to go, you are in now. Okay, so this is how that you can just jump directly into the space. Okay, furthermore, let me jump back to 2D again. Now I wanted to jump into this space again, but with the 2D plan as my reference. Use the other function here called jump to 3D, this time with overlay. So I click on it, I click into this space again, then you can see that the drawing is actually on the floor. Okay, so this is for you to cross-reference if you wanted to walk through the models, right? On top of it, you can always open up the 2D and 3D. Okay, when you walk through the models, yes, you have the floor plan as a reference. At the same time, you also have another view for you to take a look. So it really depends on what kind of references that you need when you walk through the model or check the models or the drawings. Okay, right. Okay, come back to 2D again. I have one more function to share. As you can see on the screen here, right, there are some bubbles, okay, on this 2D. This is actually the heat map. Okay, the heat map. So when I look at it, right, I know that, okay, this is something that I need to take a look because I have 8 issues in this small area. So I want to check what is this. So this one will be very useful, especially if today we are on site. Okay, we wanted to know that this issue, right, has the design issue has already clear or not. So when I look at this, I know that's something I need to on hold. I need to check that what are the things that haven't been resolved or the design is still in discussion. I can quickly to click on this 8. You actually list down the 8 issues within the bubbles there. So from here, I will need to check that is there any solution that has been provided, for example, in the chart, or any RFA has been raised, for example, then maybe you wanted to put it here. So when the site people look at it, they know that, okay, this one, okay, we cannot start for this because the design is still in discussion, something like this. Okay, so by looking at the heat map, easier for you to see, okay, and move forward. Okay, other than that, you will realize that the colors as well. If I reset, I come back again. You can see the colors here. Okay, orange colors and then red color. These are actually the status color. Status color. So for example, I close, maybe I resolve one of the issues, and I come back here. You realize that the colors are different. Okay, not very, something like this. Not very obvious. Okay, 1 second. Okay, I change this to in progress, for example. You can see that the color changed as well. So by looking at the colors, I know that it's a green light, good to go, or actually it's still the issue is still open. So by looking at it, you know that what is going on. Okay. Let's quickly to clear this. Yeah. So in short, this is the heat map for you to overview and check it. Okay. Right. So far so good. Any question? Can. Okay. Or our friends online, any question? Don't be shy to put in the chat. Okay. Okay, if no question, let's go on. Okay, next is that if let's say that I want to quickly to find object in the models, because there are so many object elements in the models, right? You can use this function here called find object for you to quickly to find the items that you wanted to see. So give you a generic example is that I want to find all the doors in this particular project, right? I can come to here, find object. There are a few options. Okay, I can search everywhere. Everywhere meaning that global search in this project. Okay, everything. Within current selection meaning that you selected, let's say I batch select everything. I don't want to search within my selection. Okay, within selection. So this is the within current selection. Another is within the search set. Okay, search set meaning that is like you can find something that you already found using the find object, save it as your search set. Okay, this is also another options. So for today, generic one, I just go for everywhere. I add condition what I want to search. I can search based on the property condition. Let's say I want to go by category, so I search by the category. Okay, others category. Equals, contains, or define. Okay, this one, it depends on what you wanted to search. Okay, equals, let's say I want to find all the doors. Okay, I select all the doors and I hit find all. Immediately, right, the bottom here, you'll realize there's a square bracket with the numbers. This is the total numbers that you found. Because also I know that, oh, total in this whole project, right, I have total 797 doors, okay, with this property condition that I set up. Okay, so this is just a quick one. If you want to get a quick global search with the numbers, this is how it works. But on top, of course, on top of it, right, you want to save it as a search set, right, so that you don't have to every time come back to here and use the property condition. You can save this, save as a new search set. So I name it as, let's say, door. Okay, I put -1 because yesterday I created one, right? Okay, I put a -1. I click OK. Then you can see that in my search set, I have created, okay, a search set over here. So I don't have to every time that need to use this find object, keep on putting the queries that I wanted to find. So what I need to do is that I can just double click and then you can see the object over here. On top of it, you do a right click on the empty screen here, isolate it. You can isolate all the doors in this project. It is also another method for you to use the search set. But of course, right, one thing that, or maybe a question that you may ask is that, the search set that I created, right, is it only for myself to see it or the rest of the project member can see? As you see the icon over here, okay, these are the shared. Okay, sorry, very ugly handwriting. Okay, these are the shared. So meaning that if let's say we have already set some project standards of the search set, right? This is the one everyone looking at the same. Okay, but of course we understand sometimes you wanted to save your own search set, right? This one private, you can see that no shared icon is there. Okay, so meaning that this one, once you create it, only yourself can see. And we also set some permission settings that not everyone can share the search set. Otherwise, it will be very messy over here lah. Okay. This is just for you to share, for you to understand whether it's a shared search set or the private one. Okay. Right. So other than the search set, let me go on. Okay. The clash detection, I won't run through the whole process but maybe you might interested is that how I take a look of the clash test result. Okay. So for you to find the clash test result, for example, here, okay, clash automation. Okay, these are where that you can actually find the clash results. But for me, I think that most importantly is that, let's say I look at the issue. I look at one of the issues, right? I realize I want to know which search set is coming from. Maybe it's something that you are more interested, for example, because this running clash detection handled by the team already, technical team. So what I would suggest is that if let's say you just wanted to see the clash issues, right? Don't have to worry about this clash test. Come to the issue tracker. This one. Okay, come to the issue trackers. So what you can do here is that you can continue to use the custom filter. Okay, search for clash test. If there's any specific clash test that you want to take a look, you filter by the clash test. Then you can see that what are the issues over here. Or the other way is that you want to find all the issue that is a clash. Use this. Then you will filter all the issue that is a clash. Okay, so this is something that is for you to filter so you know that what you wanted to see. But of course, right, the agenda for today is not really run through the crash test or check the crash test. The agenda today is that if let's say that you are in charge of this issue, or maybe you need to contribute or be a commenter for this issue, like how you respond it. Okay, how you respond the issue. So for example, that we are in the discussion of, let's say, this particular issue. So as a commenter, right, as a contributor, right, what you can do is that you may want to take a look who are the assignee. Okay, who are the assignee? Or maybe like, you wanted to put your comment here, the solution, for example, okay, as discussed, for example, okay, as discussed, okay, the solution, blah, 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 something like this, and then send in. And then who are the person that actually changed the status? Because everything that you change, right, okay, once you have change or the action change over here, it will actually record. So something that you can actually check as an audit trail, something like this. Yeah, so everything will be captured. And in the event, if you need these communications, right, being printed or maybe as export as a PDF, right, later I will show you as well. It can be printed out as well. Okay, so this is about the commenting side. Okay. Other than that, okay, the other things that maybe you may interested is that if I wanted to take a look of the properties, like for example, when I hover my cursor, for example, let me just highlight Pumbling, for example, I just isolate my Pumbling models. When I hover my cursor here, right, you realize that there's a preview here. Okay, so this preview, right, we can actually add in more preview. Depends on what you want to see. Because we understand that it will be much faster if you want to check something, right? You don't have to really go and open up the properties. We can set some preview here. So how to do this? I open up my properties. Let's say I select. Okay, I select one of the types over here. For your job is that you just have to click the drop down over here. If you can see any shed, okay, any shed, let's say shed type. For example, any shared properties over here, you just have to select accordingly, okay? Select accordingly. Now, when I hover my cursor, stop it there, right? You realize that have more, okay, informations here because we are favoriting the information. So this is just a quick one. When you hover your cursor, stop it there, it will show you more informations over here. Okay, so the question is that if you interested, you want to create your own favorite properties, you can do it as well. How to do it? Now I'm going to share with you. Okay, let me just go back to the default. So if today you want to add, okay, some of the favorite properties, right, based on the information here, let's say I wanted to put in my, okay, let's say this geometry information. So I want to see the wall thickness, outside diameter, inside diameter, or maybe the size, right? I just have to multiple select what I want to see as a preview. Click on this add to favorite. Okay, name it as, let's say, pipe preview. Okay, and of course, this checkbox, right, it really depends on whether you have the rights to share with everyone because we don't want to jeopardize the whole project, right? If no, right, it's okay. You can still save it for your own reference on it. Just hit OK. Then you can see that now the pipe preview as your favorite. So you hover your cursor, stop it there at the pipe, right? You can see the informations already. Okay, this is the favorite properties. So in a way, if let's say if there's any QS in the rooms, right, you wanted to export this, let's say the quantities. Okay, you can also export it out based on these favorite properties as well. For example, now, I batch select everything. I select everything. And I use this function here called selection inspector. Click on it. It will open out. Let me just, not empty. It will open out. Okay, give you a table, something look like this. If let's say you have any quantity, you just want quickly to extract out from the BIM models, right? You can use the favorite property that you set just now. Okay, select everything, hit on this called selection inspector. It gives you a table look like this. So what you need to do here is that you can export it out to CSV file. Okay, then it will be something look like exactly the same columns here lah. Same. Okay, same like in Re.viz.to, something like this. So if you needed, right, for the QS team, right, if for the contracting, for them to easy to check the quantity from the BIM models, right, this is one of the options that they can actually play with it. Selection inspector. okay, together with the favorite properties. Okay, favorite properties. Okay. Next, okay, the other functions that I'd like to quickly to share with you, which is the appearance template. I'm not too sure that this team that they need to set the appearance template. I guess no. Okay, but what you can actually get from here, if let's say that you have some appearance template that already set up here, right? Let's say I want to check with the piping with the CP83 colors code, right? I can just double click on it. You can see that there's some color code that has been highlighted lah. Yeah, so this is also something that I think Tuya teams will be setting out for this. So for our teams today here is that you know how to use it. If you want to see some color code, is under the appearance template. Okay, just double click on something that you want to see, or for example, door installation. I double click on it. The colors of the door indicate the status of the installation, for example. Okay, so this is something that you can play with it, the appearance template. Okay, so the next part is that, okay, desktop application, right? So far, right, these are the functions here. But the next part is that since that we have so many data or the issue has been created in the system here, right? I want to see the dashboard. Okay, what kind of dashboard that I can get from here? So for you to see the dashboard is on the workspace, which is the browser, or in short is that the shortcut. If you're jumping from the desktop, you can click on this report here. You actually jump into the browser like this. Okay, so what are the things that you can get from browser? Okay, just to be clear, on the browser, right, there's no 3D navigation, no 3D models. Okay, but the browser, what you can get is that the issue trackers. You can be the commenters. Okay, you can perform, like, let's say you want to change these in progress status to resolve. You can still do it as well for the issue trackers, but there's no 3D models navigation. Okay, other than that, dashboard, you can also get it on the web as well. So it depends on what kind of dashboard they wanted to create. So each of the different dashboard, you can give the different access to the members. So for example, I click on this dashboard. Okay, these are something dashboard chart that you can get from Re.viz.to. I just want to quickly show you how easy to create this. This dashboard is actually pull out the metadata or the issue status that you actually accumulate and do it in the Re.viz.to project. I click on this add new chart. I just have to select what are the chart types that you want to see. So for example, I want to see the bar chart. Okay, and then by default you go assignee, right? But assignee is not enough for me. It's just see that the total issue that handled by Donald Duck, for example. I want to further break down according to the status. I can add another grouping, go by status. Then this chart, it make more sense. So I know that, oh, it actually close 27 already, but I still have 708 open issue. With the color, you can easily to see the status. But this is not done yet. If let's say you want to further to filter by the stem, the issues, you can further scroll down, add condition here. Let's say I want to filter by the stem or the key issue, for example. Okay, I select all the key. And you can see that it narrowed down based on the filter. So you're actually looking at the correct information here. Okay. Once it's done, last step, just give it a name and hit save button. And this chart has been saved over here already. Something look like this. Okay. Right. So other than just looking at the chart, maybe I also wanted to generate report. Okay, in PDF or Excel file. You can also do it as well based on the chart they generate here. Click on this more button here, send out. Okay, you can select the project members that who need to receive this chart in a PDF format, or I would suggest is that the PDF with issue. With issue meaning is that the individual issue. Okay, you want to include with an individual issue. PDF option, you want to include your company logo, go ahead. Comment, text comment. So just now I did mention, if let's say that those comment, right, you wanted to include in your report, check this. Okay. Few updates, meaning that who are the person changed from the status open to in progress to resolve to close, right? You want to include that in your report. Check this. Attachment, if you have any PDF you want to include in your report as well, check the attachment. Markup update, meaning is the screenshot the system has been captured. If you need that in your report, check this as well. Okay. Image, whether you want to go for large image or small image, or the issue field, you want to further include the levels, for example, to the individual issue, or you want to include the zone. Okay, you can select as well. So once it's done, you just hit the send button. Then the person will receive it. Okay, so the report something look like this. Something look like it will give you a cover page. Furthermore, with a chart, the individual issue. Just now I include the levels and zone, right? You can also include it for the individual one. Okay, with the screenshot as well. Okay, the field, everything, screenshot, it will be captured. Okay, so for me, right, as a person that looking at this report, if let's say I want to quickly to take a look on this issue, I don't have to really go back to my Re.viz.to project and find this issue 342, for example, ID. What I can do is that I click on this open in Re.viz.to. I click on it, it will actually bring me back to the desktop app. So it will jump to here. I'm exactly looking at this particular issue. But of course, if today you are the management, for example, I don't really need to install Re.viz.to, but I want to be a commenter. Commenter, you can still be, you still can put in your comment through the issue tracker web, which is the browser. So when I click on it, it will actually bring me back to the browser and open up this issue. Then I start to comment here, send in. The moment that I send in these comments, right, I jump back to my desktop app, right, you can see that the issue is actually instant. Okay, so because it's on cloud, okay, so everything will be instant for issue. So no one will think that I didn't receive the message or what, everything will be captured here lah. Okay, right. So this is about the issues and the report. Of course, if one more question, if let's say you have the question is that I don't want every time to click the send button, this report can be scheduled. Okay, can be scheduled. More button here, schedule delivery. Okay, turn on deliver on schedule. I said every week, Friday, 7 a.m. I need to receive the report. Schedule it. Okay, format, change it to PDF with issue, exactly the same setting. Okay, exactly the same setting. Include the field that you wanted to include and click OK. Time's up, you will send it to the mailbox. And with the hyperlink, you just click download. It's exactly the same. Report something look like this already. Yeah, so this is the schedule report lah. Okay, for the reporting. Okay. Right. Okay, so any questions? So far, so good. Are you still with me? Thinking. Yeah, because this is just cover mostly for the desktop application and how to review and commenting. Yeah. Your choice. Everything.
The whole platform. But for one we create the issues like yes, but now we publish to extend it out.
Yes.
No, but this platform, let's say, are we opening up?
Yes, yes.
So they can come in and see how far we have.
Yes.
Information about community.
If they request to access the
We cannot isolate their views.
We can isolate the issues. We can not let them to see the public issue. Yeah, they can only see the issue that pertaining to them. So let's say you add them into as one of the watcher, then they can see.
Which one? Because I think some of the issues are. If I not want to.
Yes, understand. Understand. Yes, I
I
understand.
think this one mostly is for that's one of the training session or introduction of the support stations. Others. So they one we start using the actual budget. We will give the design reference identity. So that on that background, we create issues like they have got a good function. Whether we want to keep these issues internally, the tracker only, the rest of it, how we do internally, we formulate even some of the issues. If we really need to highlight the design and post it, we can change to publication. So that we can fill in our
Yes.
The publish is a report.
Oh, no.
No.
See, but anyway,
I mean, we should not believe simple. I mean, this platform should be for other policy. That's why I think that, you have to be careful that the ice is clean at what something see on the church. Right? But should I restrict them into a class protection or something?
Can. The final one will be at it's never.
Well,
You
you guys
are-
Yes.
Yeah, that will be can split some protection.
You have to explain very well the something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because even for the flash detection, right,
Okay.
built-in will need because we need to do the matching class level with them so that
Yeah.
even for WhatsApp sites, if we get team of the one with presentation, they should go for the big discipline. I want to request detection of which time because we do progressively, right? Let's say for now, if we request detection for high level versus final requirement. So basically the site gets changed, we have the short resolution steady. So in front of short resolution is going to be the detection plan.
But this schedule is this schedule of learning the trash detection is a manual one, like
Manual on was
as in a manual meaning that today I need to run this right? Because 3 months later I need to clear this very right? It's not be done like this. It's going to be scheduled trash detection.
no.
Okay.
It's getting fast detection schedule.
Oh, Sharon, this one you showed the 2D and 3D one. Right? It's only touching joints.
No,
Can
everything
overlay all the joints 2D and
depends on what you want to see though. 3, 4 at the same time. Cannot. Only one. 3, 4 at the same time. Will be haywire. Then you want to go with the session plan. Okay. Session plan. Yeah. As long as you have the sheets, site plan, plan view, depends on what you want to see, then yeah, just one click you can go to like this.
each sequence. You get that from home.
But maybe
I
that
couldn't.
Can.
actually cannot.
And you just need to do one extra step, we call it manual overlay. Once you overlay, it's going to get the same result.
Let's say for if we so let's say our sheet own model, right? One we publish to so sheet notation always will match with the model of the but if we want to import the solve joins or whatever, we still is what it would slow. But first time one for still need to do negative number equal to isolation. So that's, I think, next time training it gives us some customize and training this. Because you see the daily road, every road for some focus. Like classification, I don't think of PLS, they don't even care.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, so it's to be custom free function. So they focusing directly, they don't, you just open, this one.
Okay, whether you use for video.
For the QTO, we will need to. Because even though still can on the take off, team on the take off for Indian take off quite straight.
Okay. So the blockchain.
Yes.
So this is so every time it's the dash, and then we follow the dash. Then the workflow is that we just down by each other. If I see some of you go and update the version on the
Yes.
they auto see right. So when this issue, let's say for example this heat map, right? Issue and then we update. So when it comes back, how do we
Disappear in one day.
somebody must
It won't disappear.
No, what I mean is, it might
So 8 issue, right? But now let's say issue number 8 is got closed, right? When visit back this plan view definitely, but number 8 is not there anymore.
There was somebody got to fix the issue so that you drop 7 now, right?
Yes.
But when I load it, when I update and reload the not automatic on the, so how do I ensure that this issue somebody else who doesn't know this come here and say, hey, actually, is this an issue? Because he doesn't know it's updated. No, but you know the screen, right? Just like your screen, you show the 370, right? For example, then now I move the part away, right? Then when I reload the model, that issue tracker will quickly show the same image as when I first raised the issue or the updated image.
Which image? Sorry, is this one?
This will be the
No, that's not your
updated. That will be updated.
updated image.
Yes.
That's not you share.
Mm.
That's not the 370.
The 370.
Clearance dimension.
Yeah, the minimum dimension. That's
Or the minimum dimension. Okay, this one ha. Okay. Mm.
Like,
Mm.
or be the updated.
You will be seeing the same image because this is not the clash detection issue. Okay, this issue is not created from a clash detections, but it's like I check I eyeballing check already, I pin the issue.
Right.
Yeah, so this screenshot will be still the same.
Yes.
Mm. 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 Yes. Yep. The new. Yes. This screenshot it will still remain until let's say I go into here, let's say shift already, I update 3D view. Because this is not the clash detection, if let's say it's a clash detection, okay, it's a clash detection, I publish already, okay, I publish the latest models and then it's already resolved these issues, right? Then I run the clash detections and I do a synchronize with the issue trackers, the latest screenshot it will automatically capture so that it's already resolved. If let's say it's already resolved, then you show that no clash already, based on the terms and conditions that we set in, then it will auto capture the screenshot here. Clash detection, yes. Status, and the color is not the red and the green anymore, it's the blue. Blue meaning resolve. Clash resolve. Yes. And you can tell the system that auto close that resolve issue. It can be set.
Yes. We manual create issues and need manual. Automatic automation, presentation and automatic.
You can choose.
So the queries I want to ask, the automatic classification just now and automation just now. Seem like they capture the view last time. Say the view is not staying in context. Just now you see that some. Right. I mean, if assume us, anybody else, when we see the image in this context, definitely don't want this one. So say no, like what is it? Right. So how do we going to set the angular view closely with that with the surrounding context?
Okay. This screenshot, right, is actually controlled by the clash test. So before you synchronize the clash test, you need to adjust in the clash test first to adjust the camera view, everything. Then it synchronizes the issue trackers, it will capture it. Yeah, before it sync to the issue. Yes.
So generate. So some this is what again is different. Then update the view.
In a way that it's an automated thing. Okay, come to here. Yeah. Here. Yeah, you can adjust. zoom in, zoom out, then the zoom factor, you can adjust it lah before you synchronize. Yes, yes. Understand, 100%.
Here, like click on it, I don't even know whether this one is actually resolved. The image I'm seeing, whether it's a resolved image or it was still not a resolved image. That's the concern.
Okay, so
And I just liking windows for the long reason.
so the screenshot that it will always show the latest. So if let's say that I have a few more. Yes, correct. So there's a few more, for examples, right? It will always show the latest one. Let's say 1, 2, 3. It will show the latest one. But for your concern is that when I look at it, I don't know whether it's already resolved or not, right? Yes. Mm.
What is wrong with my term? No dimension, but I cannot verify, let's say it's saying, and what is wrong alignment or wrong angle. Then I go in, then you update it, get the correct, then look at it, when I go in, I start I still think that it's the wrong angle because the that is not. So that's the part that, to have some workflow, I don't think the software can do it, right? Have some workflow that somebody update this, that must add in a comment that updated. Screenshot or whatever, right?
Actually, for this one, I'm preparing the workflow that I should not. So the workflow will do type of work. Let's say for internet, right? If LinkedIn on the website, the purchase on the website, it cannot submit the can lead that if they review it, submit right, technically should the one who close the issues.
Okay.
Then if for external, right, if we really can submit internet, the technical team lead will decide to some into this. So some move publication. After we set up the function, then after everything, then the one for the technical lead actually or stretch out sleep with. So same thing, if consultant design for online, so we need to assign to them. This is really fast. After that, if consultant commitments and we can assign LinkedIn we want to follow these issues. After that, we update the model with LinkedIn and the plan is updated as per this. But the final growth won't be final growth.
It should be closed by the, should be closed by the.
Supposed to be like, I think, ever greater issue need closely lah.
This is accepted this, right? Sorry, that maybe not your. We run through this again.
Okay.
Any more questions?
No.
Yeah, I think it should be okay. I think we looking at MBS, they set up. Yes.
Today training is with recording those incidents.
No, what is asking in the NBS, like the. Are you the one?
Yeah.
Okay lah, I mean, if training finish, we can stop record.
Okay, maybe one more thing before I close the recording is that just in case today I talk too much, overwhelm you, please feel free to go to this website here, Re.viz.to Academy, and sign up the learning platform. Because we actually break down the function into topics. So get yourself certified. We have 3 levels. Level 1 is the basic one, navigation, basically what I already covered today, but I just worry that overwhelm you. So this training is more like for you to break down itemize those functions lah. Okay, level 1 and level 2 is something that a little bit more on the coordination side, clash detection. We have level 3, maybe not for the group for today, but if let's say you are interested with the API, feel free to go and sign up as well. Yeah, it's free. Yeah, it's free. This learning platform. So you don't need a Re.viz.to license, okay, to go in. You just have to like a Google account. You come to this website, sign up yourself, and then just get yourself, go through the video and certified lah. Okay, it's free. Yeah. Let me just quickly to post this into the Teams chat. So you can go and register or sign up. Okay, let me just stop the recording